Hi, I'm the host of the STO Smokers Lounge. I'm here to tell you about Anchor, the perfect app that you can use right now to start your own podcast network. You can broadcast right now. All you got to do is download the app, whether you have a phone, iPad, or even a laptop or desktop. You can right now download Anchor or go to Anchor FM right now and start recording and have your stuff broadcasted over multiple platforms such as Spotify. So go to Anchor today and start your podcast career like I have. Because trust me, I love me some Anchor. Hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How you doing?
Can't complain. All going well on my end.
So how was your week?
It's been chill, man. I've been taking a little bit of time off just to kind of get everything set up for this trip that I'm taking in 2 weeks. So I want to make
Okay.
sure everything's all squared away with that.
Okay. And where you heading to?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, so you're going to do some shoots out there?
Yep, there's a really big pool of talent out there that
Mm-hmm.
they have easy access to LA and Vegas and all that, but they live in Phoenix, Scottsdale, like that area. So I
Mm-hmm.
figured, you know what, why not just go down there and work with people where they live to that way I don't have to catch them when they're in another city.
Yeah, because sometimes it's better that way, especially when you're trying to do it with conventions. And a lot of times, sometimes the shoots don't even fall through because they get so damn booked, you know. So hell yeah, it's better to go to them.
Yeah, like especially with conventions and all that, man. It's like whenever you're doing those type of things, you never know what's gonna happen, and there's gonna
Yeah.
be all sorts of scenarios where people come up and be like, yeah, 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 let's shoot, let's shoot, let's shoot, and then another company comes along and they say, oh well, come and do two shoots with me on that day, and you'll get more
Mm-hmm.
money out of it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I already know that they're gonna cancel on me, so
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I mean when I went to Zog in 2019, I had 5 shoots lined up, only did 2.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly how it was with me too. I went in on that Friday, that like early that morning,
Hmm.
and I had a shoot, and everything after that it was hit or miss. I know I had like two shoots planned for that Sunday, and they both
Hmm.
fell through. So, I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, it made no sense. And then the fucked up part was the female that I wanted to work with. We She was down to shoot Sunday, but I was leaving Sunday. So it was like, oh, now you want to shoot when I'm about to leave. So I totally feel you. So look, let me do my particulars, and then we can get this interview on the road. Okay, sir?
All right, sounds good.
Send them. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone who's trying to start their own podcasting career. All you have to do is download the Anchor app on your phone or go to anchor.fm, set up a profile, and start podcasting today. And the beauty of it is, it's free and you get paid immediately because you can monetize your stuff automatically. What's better than that? That's better than Podbean. That's better than Squeaker. So go to anchor.fm or download the Anchor app and start podcast today. I'm your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Y'all know what it is. You want to watch my porn, you want to listen to my music, you want to follow me on social media, go to allmylinks.com/porn rap star and follow the world of the porn rap star. Also, we are sponsored by the Facebook of the LS community. I'm talking about lsworld.com. Go there today, get yourself a profile, interact with kink-minded people like yourself, and also find events in your area that you might be able to attend and start your journey into the lifestyle BDSM world. Also, we are a proud member of the GW District Black Podcast Network. I'm talking about close to 20 podcasts that give you the black experience. And plus, while you're there, you can get some shopping done where you have the choice of over 500 black retailers that you can buy from. We're talking about health, beauty, fashion, books, you name it, they got it. So go to shopgwdistrict.com, support black businesses, build the black economy so we can create generational wealth for our people. Now I'm going to be quiet and let this man introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Peter King. I am male talent and owner of Peter King Productions, Pro-Am, porn company operating out of New York. Pleasure to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Now you said you was into music before you got into this.
Yes, sir, that is correct. I was a rapper myself. Um,
Okay.
I was working in the music industry since I was young, about like 11, 12 years old. And I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
as a hip hop artist yourself, I'm sure you understand what it's like in
Yeah.
those initial early stages to come up. And it starts off you just in parks or you at the lunch
Mm-hmm.
table and you siphon and just kind of
Yeah.
rhyming with the people around you. And, then if you start to take it serious, you find yourself in studios and on
Mm-hmm.
stage and doing tours and the whole
Mm-hmm.
the whole experience.
So basically, you were full fledged. Did you ever get a deal, or you were just pretty independent?
In the beginning, I was offered a couple contracts, but none of them appealed to me. None of them, and I was getting contracts offered to me from pretty sizable labels at the time, but just the
Mm-hmm.
wording and the way that they wanted me to go about doing my business, I wasn't with it,
Mm-hmm.
so I decided to stay independent.
Yeah. Okay. Because I remember, I had the opportunity. I had Def Jam looking at me and Nelly's label looking at me, but both didn't fall through. So, so with you doing the music, what made you transition to porn?
It wasn't just a one-to-one thing where I woke up one day and I said, "Oh man, fuck this music shit. I'm gonna just do porn." Uh, but I was working in the industry for a while, and I was recording, I was writing, I was on tour, and after I put out my last album, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back and just focus on being an engineer, focus on engineering. And I did that for a couple years, but after I graduated with a degree of in audio engineering, I decided this is cool and all, but it's just super, super competitive. The job market is crazy.
Mm,
And I kind of, at the same time, fell into porn mostly by accident. So I decided, you know what, let me just pivot away from doing
hmm.
engineering and now focus on doing porn
So
primarily.
how did you fall into porn by accident? I'm curious.
Well, it's one of those things where, at some point, I'm sure everybody has the idea in their head when they're with their girl or whoever it is. They say, "Let's make a movie."
Yeah.
Let's just put something out. And I met this girl, and we were talking about it, and she said, "Yeah, I think it would be really hot if you filmed us while we were fucking."
Hmm.
So I filmed it, and I asked her, "Can I put this up on Pornhub?" And she said, "Yeah, sure, that's okay." And I
Hmm.
put it up, and then I just seen. I think we like popped off and got like 300,000 views within a week or something,
Hmm.
and that just got me thinking, like, damn, if I would have taken the steps and taken the time to monetize this, that would have been money in my pocket.
Hmm.
And that's when it turned from, oh, this is just a fun little thing that me and you could do to, hold on, we could actually make something out of this. We can make a
Hmm.
career out of this.
Hmm. And so with that being said, as that progressed, when did you start working with other talents?
It was pretty quick. I met other producers in the area first, and I got hired as male talent by my man Rick Nasty up here, and
Rick
that was,
Nasty tapped into everybody, though. He's a man of that bitch.
oh yeah, like Rick, between Rick Nasty and Mike Dirty, those are the kings in New York porn right there.
Yeah.
Like yes, I know I'm in New York porn. I do my own thing, but at the same time, you have to step back and pay homage to the people who paved the way before you.
Hmm.
And those two gentlemen have had this whole shit on lock since like 2005, no
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So I got my first like male talent opportunity through Rick. He put me on, just gave me game, gave me advice, just told
Hmm.
me a little bit about how to run a porn business, how to get started, what to do. And from there I started reaching out to other talent, and in business you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
And the sooner that you come to that realization, the easier it's going to be for you. So I had a little bit of savings set aside, and I said, you know
Hmm.
what, I'm going to take this, I'm going to invest it. And that's what I did.
Hmm. And see, that's the thing I think a lot of cats do not understand coming into the game. You have to spend money wherever it is. You have to pay for that first shoot, or you have to pay for that girl's travel or pay your way to go shoot with her. You know, and not only that, but also camera equipment and the whole nine. So with knowing that, um, how did you approach your first models for
Uh,
shoots?
the same way that I would approach an artist that I wanted to collaborate with, like a bigger artist that I wanted to collaborate with when I was doing music. Just
Hmm.
reach out through their booking email, as professional as possible. Just give
Hmm.
a quick introduction about myself. My name's Peter. Here's where I'm from. Here are my websites. Here's my social media. I'd be interested in booking you. Please let me
Hmm.
know your boy girl rates and availability.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Now why is it important to list you know what I'm saying, your work as well as your sites and the whole nine to these ladies so people can understand why?
So when you're just a guy, when you're just a person in who's claiming to be a porn star, claiming to own a porn company, you and I both know, and especially the ladies know, that
Hmm.
the majority of the time it's just cap. It's
Yeah.
just guys who are just saying it and have no credibility, have no establishment.
Hmm.
A lot of times it's just Johns and clients who
Hmm.
think, oh, if I tell her I'm a porn star, then she'll give me porn star rates instead of escort rates, and then I get to film it too. So
Hmm.
it's important to show everyone, look, I'm credible. I've worked with other people before. I have a good image. I have a good reputation in the industry. Because without that, why should she trust you? Why should she put her safety and her money in your hands if you can't prove that you're a reliable individual?
Yeah, because see, a lot of times, a lot of guys get in this business for the pussy,
That's a fact.
and that's why I tell guys you have to differentiate yourself and separate yourself from those guys. And the more professional you are when you step in that email, that first initial email, the more chances and better your chances of possibly getting a positive result and get a possible shoot.
Exactly. Like you just have to. It's the same because remember, a lot of people, I guess they feel like since this is the sex industry, that they don't
Hmm.
have to treat it like it's any other kind of business.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if you're a manager at Walmart or McDonald's, you're a hiring manager at one of these places, and somebody comes up to you for an interview and they just talking about, yeah, I want to work in this bitch, I feel like I got skills and shit, I've been doing this shit
Hmm.
for a long time. Like you would not hire that person
No.
just based on the way that they're approaching you in an unprofessional manner. So
Hmm.
porn is no different. You have to keep a level of professionalism at all times.
Yes. Now, being a man, I never asked no guy this. Tell, because I know you talk to females and you probably had a discussion on how they pick guys versus how we pick females. Please explain to people the differences of how we pick our females versus how they pick their men.
So essentially, when I'm going out and I'm deciding what models I want to book, I'm not thinking with my dick. I'm not thinking about it from the perspective of, oh, who's the hottest girl that I could put money down for and that I could fuck, because it's not about me. It's not about my
Hmm.
pleasure. It's about what is my fan base going to enjoy. What are the
Thing.
people who buy my videos and the people who subscribe to my websites? What did they want to see?
Hmm.
So I go into it with that mentality, just with the,
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
these girls sold really well for me and were very well received. This girl looks very similar and has a similar personality type and performs
Hmm.
similarly on camera to them. So let
Hmm.
me go ahead and reach out to her.
Yeah.
Whereas with girls, it's more so about reliability, I think,
Hmm.
where they it doesn't matter what you look like as a man necessarily. Like you could be the perfect looking guy, completely cut up, shredded, muscular, whatever. But if you
Hmm.
can't keep your shit hard for the duration of a shoot and then
Yeah.
pop at the end, you're
Hmm.
useless. Like that.
And then two, they pick a lot of guys for their content because of fuckability. I mean, I would want to fuck them. While us, it's more of a logical business approach. Theirs is more of emotional.
I mean, I'm sure in some cases that that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been told I've been told from both perspectives where it's been like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just kind of wanted to fuck them, so that's what I did. And I know a handful of talent who are like that, where they have no interest in taking bookings from a company. They
Uh,
have no interest in working with a production company because there's that chance that they're going to be paired up with a talent that they're not personally attracted to.
mm-hmm. So does that make them less professional, or is just a different lane?
I think it's just a different lane. I think professionalism mainly comes in the approach. So I reach out to you and you tell me, "Oh, I don't really like you. Like I don't want to fuck you, so I'm not going to do anything." That to me is unprofessional and that's how you're going to
Yes.
severely hinder your business.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just say something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm only shooting from within a particular talent pool at this time. I'll reach out to you if anything changes." That's
Yeah.
you sticking in your own lane. And if that's making
Yeah.
you money and that's bringing you success,
Yeah.
more power to you.
And see, I'm glad you said that, because what a lot of girls don't understand, it's not about how you say yes, it's how you say no. And
Very
girls
much.
get that because they don't realize we talk to each other. And the one thing that every male talent, every male producer says, we don't want a problematic bitch. And
That's a
and the
fact.
way you say no is telltale of how problematic you are going to be on set.
And
From my
I've
experience.
I mean you're right. I've had even in the way that some people say yes,
Yeah.
where, I've been asked for, some pretty ridiculous things where,
Hmm.
oh, I want all of my booking fee up front and I want my travel paid for and my accommodations paid for. And when you are approaching with that kind of, it's all about me, 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 me,
Yeah.
I already know that I'm not going to have a good shoot with you and
Yeah.
there's going to be dramatics on set.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those producers that I'm not with the dramatics. Like I will, if you step onto my set and you're just giving me nothing but problems and this is an issue and that's an issue, I'll gladly pay your kill fee and send you on your way.
See? And see, that's one thing I said about us as men. We don't have a voice in the industry like we should. Because when we speak our mind or speak our professionalism or try to keep it professional, we're assholes, we're narcissistic, we get dragged on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? That's the main reason why I did this podcast, and I like guys on you to come on here so we can tell them, look, we go through it too. Don't think you're the only people that walk on set with PSD. Because we deal with past models' attitudes, we deal with this, we deal with that, flakes, the whole nine. We lost money in this business before, and a lot of girls do not take that into account when they do talk to us.
And that's something that I very firm, like the issue of deposits. I've had models
Yeah,
run off with deposits before.
yeah,
It happens, and that's why there was a period of time in which it happened to me like 3 times within a 2-month period, and that's
hmm.
when I made the executive decision of I'm not paying deposits anymore.
Oh, I never
And
paid deposits.
and then I would have models who would tell me, "Oh, well, that's very unprofessional of you. Like I'm not going to show up to your set if you don't pay a deposit." I'm like, "All right, then, we don't have to work together in that case."
Yeah, but see, what girls don't understand is, so people can understand where the deposit comes from. There's an escort money making tactic. The deposit was for if a guy booked more than 2 hours and you ask for a deposit to save his time. Why? Because especially if he's booking for more than 2 hours, because that means you might miss 2 hour calls within the 3 to 4 hours that you with him. You might miss money. So waiting for him, he pays a deposit to hold his spot, and then he pays you the rest when he walks in the door. Girls got the business and start using deposit in porn. There's never been a deposit in porn. We do not pay you before the shoot. We pay you after the shoot once the director says cut and the man that busts his nut.
And that's something that I had to learn, as whenever you start any type of business in any type of industry, you make mistakes, you learn as you go on. And the whole
Mhm.
deposit thing, that's just something that I had to get burned on a handful of
Yeah.
times and then I learned. And now that's not a mistake that I make anymore. And at this point in my career, I have enough references, I have enough producers and talent and
Mm-hmm.
everyone else in the industry who knows who I am. So if there's any question about whether or not am I even going to show up, am I even going to do the shoot with you, you could ask any one of them and they'll all tell you exactly the type of experience they had with me. But, as far as giving you money for literally nothing and just hoping that you pick up the phone the day that I need you there, I'm over that.
No, no. I had so many girls say, well, I gotta pay the deposit. One girl would say, you pay me this deposit, we can shoot all day. I was like, no, I'm good. Because I'm sorry, it's me dealing in the world of the escort world. From dealing with escorts, I've seen guys pay deposit, girls didn't show up. And also times where I even played for plane tickets and girls didn't show up. Bus tickets, girls didn't show up. So whenever we actually do something for ladies, we're taking a chance big time. And ladies don't take the same chances as we do.
And I think that's why I personally feel certain levels of frustration when it comes to certain aspects of the industry where, you get accused of unprofessional conduct, or you're being told that you're being cheap and you're not being reasonable when, I'm the type of person, I will definitely work within whatever boundaries and everything that you've set up and everything that you want to do beforehand, but I have limits. I'm not
Yeah,
going to give you your full fee up front. I'm not going to, like, I will pay for travel. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
handle that.
Oh yeah,
That's no issue for me. But I'm going to need some kind of assurance that you're actually gonna come through. And there have been
yeah.
times where I've bought train tickets, $80, $100 Amtrak tickets
Mm.
that just go to waste.
And like I said, women don't spend a dime to come, a dime to stay. And what's funny is I hear chicks say, well, my hair, my makeup, and this and that. I'm like, that's maintenance for you. That's shit that you do on your own. If that's the case, then we can sit here and complain about the haircuts that we got to get. Them haircuts ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? We got to get outfits. We got to pay for the hotel. We got to pay for the equipment because a lot of times the girls don't have equipment. We got to pay for their travel if they have to have travel. And like I said, and then God forbid if they escort and they work out of the room, they get to make money without spending any money. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's another reason why I'm not one who's going to pay for testing for
Yeah,
a model.
yeah,
If you're taking the time to get tested, I'm not going to be the only person that you're shooting with on that test.
yeah.
So why is it now my full responsibility to cover that cost for you
Hmm.
if there's going to be three, four, maybe even more other talent or producers who are going to work with you while that test is valid?
Hmm.
That's just, I think part of it does come back to business as a whole.
Hmm.
When you are an escort, when you are a female talent, when you're a male talent, hell, when you're a male escort, it doesn't matter. All
Hmm.
that matters is that if you're using your body to make money, and that's in any way, if you're an actor, if you're an athlete, if you're using your body to make money, then that self contained entity of yourself is a business.
Yes.
And businesses need have expenses. They just have expenses. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if you own a brick and mortar store and you got to pay for gas, plumbing, electricity. Those are the expenses of that business. But
Hmm.
when you are making money with your body, things like hygiene, making sure that your beard is trimmed, your hair is done, nails, makeup, whatever it is that you got to get taken care of, that's an
Hmm.
expense.
Hmm.
Your testing, that's an
An
expense.
expense.
This is all just the cost of doing business, and trying to pass those costs off to other people is a very easy way for people to just want to wash their hands of the whole situation and say, you know what, I don't really want to go through the hassle, I don't really want to go through the headache. You could do whatever it is you want to do, but it's just not going to be with me.
See, yes, most definitely. Which is interesting to segue to something that you said. When we on set, I always said this: men has a lot of men has don't have the courage to talk about their boundaries with the lady before a shoot. Speak to the importance of men speaking about their boundaries to their female counterpart when they're about to shoot. The importance of it.
That's something that, for one, it's the one thing that's going to make shoots go smoothly. You want to make sure that everyone is comfortable, even if the people don't have chemistry, just
Yeah,
feeling like they could be comfortable with each other is the most
yeah.
important thing. And, consent violation could very easily go both ways.
Hmm.
You're in a scenario where you're doing a rimming scene, let's say,
Hmm.
and the girl is rimming you, and she just tries to stick a finger in your ass. If you didn't speak about that beforehand, like right there is the moment to just speak up and say, hey, that's not something I'm comfortable with.
Hmm.
And having her disregard that, that should come with the same blacklisting and consequences than
Hmm.
if she told a man, don't put anything in my ass, and he tries to do it anyway.
Hmm.
I think it just comes to a matter of accountability. Everybody needs to be held accountable for their actions, male, female, whatever. And if
Hmm.
you're doing things to violate another person's safety and consent, then you don't have a place in this industry.
Hmm. Yeah, because like men, we get villain because I sit back and I watch how producers as well as male talent we get dragged and embarrassed on Twitter by female talent, and they'll believe anything that the female talent would say. Period, and it hurt our business for a minute. But what I love is when people find out that female talent wasn't what she says. But speak to how people automatically gravitate to what females say about us versus then just looking at our reputation and our work and going off of that.
That's one of those really difficult things to speak on, mainly due to the fact that it does go both ways, and a lot of people don't recognize or realize the fact that it goes both ways. But at the same time, I will be the first to say that it's disproportionate. There are definitely more dudes out there who are trying to do non-consensual things with a performer,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get a girl to do something off camera,
Mm-hmm.
trying to like talk a girl into doing something that she doesn't want to do for more money. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of this comes from not realizing what goes on behind the scenes. So you
Okay.
look at those casting sites, like Public Agent and stuff like that. Cool
Mm-hmm.
sites. I rock with them. I like what they do. However, you see in those videos where the guy is saying, "Oh, I'll give you another 200 euro for anal," and the
Mm-hmm.
girl is hesitant. She feels like she doesn't want to do it, and he goes,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, come on, okay, then 300 euro." And then she finally gives in and says, "Okay, fine, a little bit for 300 euro." But what they don't understand is that that's acting. That was negotiated beforehand. Hey, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do anal in this scene, and this is how we're gonna lead up to it. I'm gonna offer you more money. You're gonna say no, and then yes. And so I feel like a lot of guys just look at that and think that it's absolute truth, that it's not
Mm-hmm.
acting.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot
But
of
see, but
instances.
see, also I think it's also the gatekeeping is gone in this business. Now I don't know how long you have been in the business, but this is what I was telling people. It used to be a time with girls when they came into business, they went and looked for a producer. Male talents got the business and went looking for a producer. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you kind of had somebody that could watch who comes in and out the business to a certain extent, especially on the major level. Because nowadays more normalized, OnlyFans, we can do it on our cell phone. Now anybody's able to get into it. And do you think that kind of how can I put it, the gift and the curse of the age of the content creator? Do you think that's part of the reason why these females run into these type guys?
absolutely. Because like you said, it's just so accessible now. Even I got into the industry just off my cell
Yeah.
phone at first. So yeah, there's obviously the gift of sometimes you're gonna get good professional people who are gonna start off with what they have. And
Mm-hmm.
what they have isn't a lot. It's a phone, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a DSLR or something, and then they elevate and they work their way up as they
See, that's
become
why I'm
better and
jealous
better.
of y'all generation. And let me tell you this. I showed a chick that was a mainstream porn star from California the digital camera. Then when the first ones came out now, when you could record video and do picture, and you put the SD card in, she looked at me like I was stupid. So I can imagine if I pulled out a cell phone. You get what I'm coming from? So it's kind of like the way, even with, because how can I put this? I was like you. I was just coming out of music. And I started dibbling dabbling in the adult industry, and I eventually got in it. You feel what I'm saying? But the way that y'all able to get into it is way easier than us because a lot of the stuff has been set up, and plus the cell phone. It's kind of crazy. Trust me, I cringe when I see cell phone videos. That's just me because I'm old school.
Well, I mean, though everything you've said is exactly identical, and this is why I feel like people who do
Yeah,
music first are
yeah.
really a little more adept and a little more prepared to do porn, because with everything that's come out since like 2000, 2001,
Hmm.
where prior to that there was no home studio, there was no
Yeah.
mic you could just plug into your computer at home. You
Hmm.
had to go to a studio and you had to pay that 250, $300 an hour,
Yes, Lord.
and then you had to pay the engineer, and then you had to go to distribution, and then you had to hit the streets with your mixtape, with your album, whatever it is that you have,
CD.
on CD. There was no, there was no digital distribution, there was no
Yeah,
SoundCloud, there was not even a MySpace at the time.
yeah.
And I feel like that, compared to how it is now, where all you have to do is spend $100, if that, and you could get a free program on your computer, an Audacity, a GarageBand, Pro Tools
Mm-hmm.
first, uh,
Mm-hmm.
get a little M box, get a little USB mic, and that's it. You
Yeah,
could set up and you could record your mixtape or your album, the comfort of your own home.
yeah.
But it comes with the same problem of, if anybody can do it, it's going to lead to oversaturation.
And with ultra saturation, get quality goes down.
Quality goes way down. And it's the
Yeah.
same with a lot of these guys who, yeah, their dicks stay hard and they could perform for hours and hours
Mm-hmm.
when there's nobody in the room but their girlfriend and their cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's put you in a professional setting. Let's put you under some beaming bacon hot lights for a couple hours. Let's put you with a 55-year-old man who's right next to you, shoving a camera right where your meat is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if it's a one-to-one translation.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
it's the same with music. When you just come out and no one is, I'll use that same term that you did, gatekeeping the industry. And
mm-hmm.
there's no one around there to critique your work and tell you, hey, your flow is really not that good on this. Hey, the
Mm-hmm.
lyrics could use some tightening up.
Mm-hmm.
Your compression is off, your EQ is off. When there's no one around to do that, and there's no one around to allow people to stagger into the industry and learn things, but instead, all right, here's a full 50-track mixtape and I'm gonna throw it up on YouTube and DatPiff and SoundCloud. Now it's an oversaturated industry, and you got people who really shouldn't be making music making
Making
music.
yeah. See, good night, bruh. I like you, man. Shit. You hip hop, god dang, bruh. Shoot, people. Now, with that being said, hold on, because I always said this. Please explain to everybody how much porn is like the music industry.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people don't understand. I keep saying the game is the same, it's just different product.
Absolutely. So I make this comparison constantly. When you are an independent artist, you have your product, you have your mixtape, you have your album, EP, whatever it is that you have, that you put your own money into and created for yourself. Problem is, you are now competing against larger independent artists, independent labels, mainstream labels, and you're trying to get your product into the homes of as many people as possible while competing with these companies that have more money than you, more resources than you. And porn is the exact same way. When you're a pro-am company like myself, you have all this competition that is shooting with $15,000 camcorders and these beautiful rented mansions. Whereas people like me, we have our DSLRs or our camcorders and we're shooting out of hotels.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a crew. We don't have a
Mm-hmm.
sound crew. We don't have a lighting crew. It's
Mm-hmm.
just usually one, maybe two other people there to assist with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fighting this uphill battle of not getting the same level of promotion, not having the money to acquire the same level of promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to really think the exact same way. How can I, with my limited resources, create a competitive product that people will watch and listen to and enjoy over anything else that's already out there? And you have to find your niche, whether you're a rapper, whether you're an R&B singer, whether you're a porn star. You need a niche that is going to make people want to pay attention to what you're doing. Bottom line.
God, this is the best interview. Bar none. I'm saying it. Oh God, this is shit. Cause right there, my mind being blown. Cause it's funny as fuck. Cause like I said, but because I talked to God, what's his name? 718 Burke. Connect with him. If you go out West Coast, connect with him.
All
Camera
right.
guy. I look him up online. He did music. He's a camera guy. Yeah, me and him chopped it up on down his interview and stuff. But yeah, because to me, when I looked at it, when I got into this business, I said, actually, if you want to be honest, me, it was more of a switch. I came back to the music after I did the porn, and I saw music became porn as far as how you made your money, streaming, downloads, everything. And I tell people, porn was the prerequisite to how music is making its money today, to how these streaming services are making their money today, because they were the first one that gave content creators the opportunity to make and generate income. And because people talk shit about Sukihana, but she makes more money doing porn than she do rapping, and people don't
Fact.
get that. People don't get
And
that.
the other thing about how it all kind of ties together too is you're right. Music kind of followed that blueprint of porn.
Yeah.
And a lot of the challenges that porn is currently facing is something that was plaguing the music industry. But things like
Hmm.
piracy.
Hmm.
Piracy is rampant in porn.
Yeah.
So, what was the solution that the music industry had? Because I'm sure you remember the early days, 05, 06, of things like LimeWire,
Yeah.
Napster,
Yeah.
where the piracy of the music industry was crazy. They found a way
Yeah.
to combat that
Yeah.
by using things like digital fingerprinting, by making deals with copywriters and trademark officers. And
Hmm.
now it's so much easier and more reliable for you to pay your $10 a month to stream on Spotify
Yeah.
than it is to try to go and pirate music anymore.
And also, the other thing we speak to is because 'cause you still do your music, right?
Yeah, I still fuck with it sometimes.
Okay, okay. Explain to everybody the importance of having your stuff on all platforms, because that's another thing that I learned from being in the music industry that I brought to porn.
So when I first started making music, the only real platform, the only real online platform for people to really showcase their music was MySpace. Like
Hmm.
that's how far back it goes. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Early MySpace was like the best music sharing platform
Mm.
because you could in a way force people to listen to your music. That shit would just autoplay when someone went on your page.
Yeah.
So you just put your own joint on there, and then people click on it, and they will go reading through your page and whatnot, and your song will be playing the whole time, and then they would make the decision right there whether or not they fuck with it. But the important thing is they were able to hear it. You got it. You got it out there to an audience. And after that, there were a bunch of others that came up. SoundCloud was like the next big thing. Google Videos, which eventually just kind of turned into YouTube when Google bought YouTube. DatPiff for mixtapes. Radio stations.
Yeah, I got my mixtape on that bill. Frank Matthews music. We go ahead.
Things like DatPiff, Hip Hop DX, just like trying to get your music on as many places as possible, because you never know where the fan base is going to be. I had no idea that I had a ton of fans in Germany and Japan until I reached out to bloggers and YouTube content creators and music reviewers and people who had fan bases in those countries, and they told me, "Oh yeah, people love your shit over here." Like, what?
See, I'm gonna tell you what ladies don't take into account, and even some guys. Like for example, everyone talk about OnlyFans. OnlyFans is hot in the United States. Let's make that clear. Europe, Clips sells this shit and Frisk VP. I think what also in the Middle East, Clips sell pretty much the hottest shit around the world. Minivids is strong in Canada, the United States, I could say Mexico, and in the South America area. So a lot of people don't even pay attention to just that little tidbit, period, to the different sites, because each site brings its own traffic. And certain sites, you can actually have people just bump into your shit, versus with OnlyFans, you don't get that advantage with OnlyFans of someone just happen to bump across your shit.
Yeah, you have to like very aggressively promote that OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of platforms that I personally am not a fan of. Like, I don't like OnlyFans. I don't think it's an intuitive platform. I don't think it's a good platform.
Me neither.
But that's what's hot right now. So you know what? That's where I'm going to be working to kind of put some of my stuff. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. I am absolutely not putting all my eggs in the OnlyFans basket.
So now what they looking to start taking sex workers down.
Yeah, I did see that. Things where it's like, saw it coming. That's something that that's been prevalent on a lot of and even the ones are continuing to maintain the presence of sex workers, like want clips, like clips for they're now starting to erode some of that content away. Oh, now all of a sudden you can't use certain keywords anymore. The content on it. And they just kind of push and push and push. Bit, the platform shuts itself down.
But see, that's the reason why I'm telling people it's heading back to a standalone site. It's heading back to that. It's because the reason why is because of that. Because even when I think about this for a second, as a producer that's been doing this 20 years, there's certain ID pictures I'm not going to be able to get to. Like for example, I know they want you now to have the ID, you holding it beside your face. So I'm supposed to find a girl that I ain't seen in 10 years, I ain't talked to in 10 years. I don't know if she's living or breathing, to ask her to take a picture with her ID holding it next to her face. So it's like they're making it harder for the content creator in adult film to really get money and put their content up. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Lost you there for a sec. I don't know what that was about, but
Yeah, now I was talking, I couldn't hear you, and then I couldn't hear
I
you.
I did hear everything that you said though, and I'm just gonna jump back into it.
Go
Um,
ahead.
a lot of what these sites are doing now is primarily anti-producer, as
Yeah.
opposed to like everything else. Like this is, in favor of solo creators, which, good for them. Continue to get your
Mm-hmm.
bag, continue to make your money, do whatever it is that you're doing, and I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. However, people, the majority of people want to see more than that. They want
Yeah.
to see a production company that is able to get a different person every week. And like you were saying, I've only been doing porn for like 3 years, but even within this short period of time, I know for a fact, especially that first year that I started, just
Mm-hmm.
without even thinking about it, I know two girls that I don't have an address, I don't have a phone number, I don't have an email, I don't have any means of contacting them
Yeah.
if I want to get those IDs. Like I have pictures of their IDs, but now another site's going to come back to me and say, "Oh no, that's not good enough." And the 2257 forms that they signed aren't good enough. What we actually need is the ID next to their face. Nobody was
Mm-hmm.
doing that 3 years
Period.
ago. So I'm not going to have that.
Yeah, because it seems like to me that's they're trying to make it like more webcamish than porn.
Right.
To
And
me,
there's plenty of sites which offer that.
yeah,
My free cams, like all those type of sites, Chatterbait. If that's the type of thing that people want, that's where they already go for it. Trying to
yeah.
now turn OnlyFans and ManyVids into, oh no, we're pivoting towards live streaming. You're just going to lose out to the companies who have already come here, already established themselves, and already have built-in user bases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I keep saying is he who does it all make the most money.
Yeah, if
Simple as
you
that.
and that also what you had mentioned about things just coming back to the free, no, not the free, to the website, to the
Yeah.
individual personal website. I agree with that too. Um, because we are now coming in an age where people have very specific wants. They know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what they want out of their porn. They know exactly what type of fetish they have, and they know what they want to cater to. So let's say I make that, whatever fetish that is. But then all the big platforms, I want clips for sale, ManyVids, they come around and say, no, I'm not going to host that anymore. Well, if
Mm-hmm.
you still want that content, the only choice you have now is my website.
Yeah. So that's why I tell people you have to be able to adapt to the business, and the business changes rapidly within months. Because even to the point that a lot of people didn't even know that eventually Twitter is about to offer the super follow, where you can put content on Twitter. So that's going to be interesting how that's going to change the game if that actually go down.
Yeah, and it's just gonna have to be a matter of looking, at least examine the platform. Like I've examined, no slight to them, just for fans.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, from what I do in my business, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
to work for me.
Yeah.
But there are other talent, other producers where it works perfectly fine for them. But you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to know unless you put in the effort to look and research and
Mm-hmm.
attempt to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's the same as music. If
Mm-hmm.
if you're a very visual type of artist and your visual style in terms of what you could do in a music video is going to be your strongest suit, then maybe putting all your eggs into the SoundCloud basket, which is just an audio platform, isn't really going to be it for you.
Mm-hmm. But see, to me, in the porn business, you have to put your stuff on as many platforms as possible because of the different traffic, and we're in the microwave age.
Exactly.
We're in the microwave age because it's like so many people dropping shit. Because I even thought about when I sit there and look at like XBiz, you used to hear about the porn releases, and it was big. Now you don't hear porn releases at all. It's like for real, period. It's like, why they even give the AVNs any goddamn more? Y'all basically talking about scenes, not DVDs anymore. Same thing with music. People talk more about singles than albums.
Right, like a whole project, and even like the age of the DVD.
Yeah,
I live in New York where there's still DVD stores,
mm-hmm.
surprisingly enough, but they don't have shelves lined with the hottest new releases from Vixen or whoever else. They maybe
Yeah,
have one or two, but for the most part, it's just older stuff and
yeah,
local stuff.
yeah. And it's like like I said, porn became very strong with the content creator, but I think what is being lost is the porn star because it seems people don't want to be a porn star anymore or be considered one.
I think people in this day and age they just want to be involved. And I'm gonna keep bringing up music because it
Yeah,
keeps being in
bring it up.
parallel.
Yes.
uh I'm sure you as an artist, when you would go into the studio, you would have the person who would always want to be in the studio with the crew. There would always be that person who wanted to be there. He didn't rap, he didn't produce, he didn't sing, he didn't write, he didn't do shit, but he just wanted to hang around, and he wanted to pop up in the back of the music videos, and he wanted to be in the recording sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people who, back in the studio days, they were just the herbs of the crew. It would just be like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, can you run to the store and get me Gatorade and the Dutch Master, please? But
Hey,
nowadays, they're the ones who say, oh, well, all I have to do is spend $100 and get a mic, and then just like that, I'm gonna be in.
mm-hmm.
So now it's the same people who are like that for porn, where they were fans. And in this day and age, I feel like people don't think that it's okay to just be a fan of something without
Nah,
having to be involved in it. But
nah.
that's okay. That's cool. It's cool to just like something for what it is. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be involved in it. You don't have to be a member of it. You don't have to participate in it. It's cool for you to just buy stuff and enjoy it and leave it at that. But a lot of these new quote unquote content creators and porn stars don't think that way. They think like, oh, I could probably fuck her better than he's fucking her. Why can't I do this shit? I could stay
I'm
hard.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. It began with Kim Kardashian and Ray J. It
Mm.
it moved to your girl from Love and Hip Hop. Then we had Suki Hana, who came into the business and she started doing it. Jimmy Smack, the girls that sitting here posting how much money they make on OnlyFans. Once again, when porn became normalized, we lost a lot of shit that made porn great. Because we made it seem Mrs. Stone ain't that special. Sarah J ain't that special. You get what I'm saying? If you got podcasters talking about Miss B Nasty in the same sentence as Missy Stone, which you would never had back in the day, because you would never had Buffy the Boss speaking in the same sentence as that of Pinky. And you know I ain't lying about that. Tell me if I'm lying.
I look. I'm just from the perspective
Stop playing with me, goddammit. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
from the perspective I'm seeing it. It's just like you said, like it's just become more normalized. And when the era of the big production, the big VHS, the big DVD production stopped, and it became more about home movies. And even before Ray J and Kim K, there was
Yeah,
Pamela and Tommy Lee.
yeah.
So there's always
But
been that kind of
but I think
appeal.
the Ray J and Kim Kardashian was big because Vivid bought it.
Yeah, and that was also big because that happened more so in the streaming age than Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Yeah, because I think when Vivid did that, it was a sign that, in my opinion, you're saying the porn we putting out ain't good enough. I got to buy this.
Yeah, just because this is the hot topic, this is the new thing, and who gives a shit if the production quality isn't anywhere near what you would get from an actual company? People want to see it. It's hot right now, so I'm buying it and I'm gonna put it out.
Yep. Man, look. I'm gonna have to bring you back. Cause actually we're gonna be talking about more than porn than this time I come back, when you come back.
Yeah, I definitely want to come back. We definitely got a lot more to speak about, for sure.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. So tell everybody where they can find you, man.
All right, so I got websites. I got peterskingdom.com. That is all HD in 4K, casting, the hottest new talent. I got rawwhitemeat.com. That is all interracial. I don't think there's enough interracial representation in porn in the way that I'm doing it. More black women, more Asian women, more Latino women.
We go talk about that. Yeah, go ahead.
And you can find all that on rawwhitemeat.com. I got passionsonly.com, new project that's dropping very soon. And that's going to be more so for, all right, you don't want to see that hardcore gonzo just fucking like crazy. You want to see some pussy eating, some fingering, some love making. That's going to be on passionsonly.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Peter King Produ1, PRODU1. Check me out on OnlyFans, Peter King Productions, ManyVids, Peter King Productions, X Videos, Pornhub, all Peter King Productions. So check me out there.
Life is a learning experience. What's the point of experience? You ain't learn anything. Smoke that over. Thank you for coming to the lounge, man.
All right, man. I really enjoyed my time here. Can't wait to come back.
No doubt. All right, dude. Peace.
Peace.